Welcome back to the Agape Purpose Podcast, and today we are sitting down with someone who's been a faithful part of the Agape Flights family for many years, Mr. Swiss Army Knife, Larry Petersen. Larry, thank you so much for being here today.
Not sure where that title came from, but
it comes from seeing it every day. You just willing to do anything. And of course, backed by popular demand, we have our Director of Cargo and Logistics, Bruce Bosco.
Hey, your name's Larry?
I'm low on the list. But
I thought it was Harry.
I do serve with you from time to time. Yeah.
First of all, popular demand. I think who asked for this other than me? No one else asked for
Well,
me
you're
back.
popular.
And the second thing is, I did notice out of all the podcasts we've done, mine was the only one with no visual feed, no video, which is a little strange. And the other thing is, probably if I knew we were doing a podcast today, I would have trimmed my nasal hairs, but no one said anything to the last minute, so I apologize to all your viewers, and that's it. So welcome, Barry.
No, we just take it up with your therapist later.
So this podcast is about learning more about you, Larry, and learning about what brought you to Agape, what drove you to become a volunteer. So let's just start with, how did you get connected with us?
Oh, that's it. Probably the easiest question of the day is, through our church, there was an outreach. I think it was Greg who came to our men's breakfast group, spoke to us, and in the process, a fellow named Tom Ryan was always on fire. The Lord was looking for places to apply his guys, his team of guys that he had, and I got invited to come and wash the ember.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
About 4 years.
So it was before Bruce, right?
No, it was after Bruce.
Oh.
It seems longer.
It would to you. I apologize for that. Up front, I apologize.
Seems a lot
for that.
longer, but that's beside the point. Let's just keep on point here.
So you came from washing a plane to volunteering at least 2 or 3 times a week. So what drove that promotion for you?
The promotion.
You like that?
I want to give credit where it really belongs. First to God for.
Don't talk a lot about me here. This is about you.
Hold on, we're talking about
moving right along away from that. Really goes to my lovely wife, who she is working full time at this point, and allows me to have time to volunteer.
Wow!
And Agape Flights is
how you got married to her. I have no idea.
Doctor,
very
47
fine
years later, you have to discuss that with her. But nevertheless, having that time available, because she's working full day, for now at least anyways, there was opportunity to come and serve here. I say it often, it's really too easy to serve here. There is a lot of need and a lot of application. But I enjoy when I can, and look forward to whatever part you'll use me for.
So obviously he wants us to talk a little bit about himself. So what were your first interactions with Bruce like?
He was quiet.
Really?
Yeah, he was actually, as kind of typical, he'd give you a little free space for a while. And then on the second day, then he comes out of his shell.
Oh, so is Bruce an introvert?
I think intentionally at times, yeah.
The strategy is you leave them alone the first day so they come back. Once they come back, then you pounce.
Gotcha. So once you kind of like got him trapped is what you're saying to me.
Oh, yeah.
So
and what I liked about Larry is he's very well groomed, first of all. And I have to say this because I joke around a lot, but out of all of our volunteers, all of them, he's probably like the 6th or 7th best volunteer on Wednesdays. So
how many volunteers do we have on Wednesdays? 7?
6 or 7. Yeah, about 6 or 7.
Yeah, I'm just want to, I'm being honest. Stop touching my leg, please. I swear you touch my leg again, I'm out.
Oh, Larry.
Edit.
I love that we're just very comfortable with this. So, like, what kind of volunteer work have you been doing for us?
Oh, there's a good various number of things to do here. There are some things that are required for special events. So as Bruce requests, or anybody from the staff requests for or a little mechanical help in the area, that's here. Floor cleaning, you know, whatever's necessary to get ready for the couple of major events, other than the weekly busy times that we have.
And one thing that you provide greatly here is dad jokes. You know, I couldn't remember. I believe one of our volunteers, John, used to work on elevators, and you had a long string of dad jokes that just went up and down with it. And I was like, I like this guy. I want to learn from this guy a lot more.
Well, it's sad truth is that John and I had a lot to share. He worked on elevators, and I worked on garage doors.
Oh, so you both went up and down.
Gotcha. We both had that issue. Yeah. Bruce has his ups and downs.
Yeah. Well, listen, I deal with him every day. I know
more
this.
Emotionally, but
this is a definite downer sitting here right now.
So, do you have a favorite memory of being here at Agape? That one that really stands out?
Gosh, a favorite memory. I don't think I do. I think it's the experience overall. I continue to be drawn to that.
Our times together.
Let's not touch the guests.
Yeah, that's really over the line. Okay, but no, it's the overall experience here. Is that there's always a renewing of what we're doing and why, and I think that is refreshing to be able to. It's not like work for me. I understand for staff it can be a little different, but at the same time, the mission is as we said earlier. There's just chatting with you. The mission is bigger than any of us or anything here, and I just enjoy being a part of that.
And I think our mission is just one of the most unique aspects of what drives us every day. Is it's not about getting those packages out. It's not about just supporting the missionaries. It's about honoring God in every aspect of what we do in our lives and here at Agape, which is, again, a very unique job. I mean, I feel blessed. It's been almost a year now, but I grew up in this hangar, and so I gotten to see it for almost 15 plus years. Wow, now I feel old. 15 plus years, and it's just a continuality of what is God calling this area of ministry for us every day. So my next kind of question would be kind of like, how have you seen God at work here at Agape Flights?
You want to answer that first, just looking at me? Or
Well, you know, I think one of the things is just the motivation that people have intrinsically. Larry does everything. I mean, there's nothing he doesn't do. Of course, we haven't told him yet that he doesn't get paid. He doesn't know. He doesn't know he's a volunteer, but that's part of it.
You're doing this. This is being recorded. He can look this up now.
Yeah. Well, he's a little slow on the draw. So
I'm coming close to the 5-year probation mark.
What was the question again?
How have you seen God at work here at Agape Flights?
How God's work? No, just people just being motivated, and I don't know. It's just there's a vibe about it that's really unique. You know, like I'm sure Larry, I've worked in a lot of different environments, different ministries, things like that. But I think the biggest thing is, and we talked about this on the last podcast, it's really about, and Larry will tell you, we talk a lot about in cargo about what happens on the other end of the packages because they're just real basic tasks here. But we stay focused on the fact that what happens on the other end is anything but ordinary. So that's what makes it different. The part that we know is the backdrop to what we're doing. It impacts what's going on over there, and it's a big motivator for everybody, honestly.
God at work is something that you see when you're here and you think about during the time that you're away. And I'd say that being exposed to so many different people from so many different walks in life. I mean, I came from New England, okay, so I'm just a speck on the map. I came down here to Florida, and I've met like the Midwest. It's just it's incredible how many people you meet from other areas, and their lives get shared here. And you know, in a way, it's like going to church, it's like gathering. You know, it's a great thing to gather, and this is just another way to do it. This is its own little sanctuary here, and we gather together, we share thoughts, a lot of barbs and jabs to go along with it. But there are health issues for everybody that's volunteering. There's all the whole life that they've brought down with them. And God at Work is just sharing all of that. So that's just one little nugget of what God's doing with the people that volunteer, and including the staff. Many of them come from a long time of volunteering and holding a full-time job before that. And the things that God does with sharing between the people it's massive. I take a lot from that as I leave, and I look forward to gaining more as we come back.
Yeah. One thing I'd like to say about you is, like, it's just so, and here, I'm trying not to get emotional. You can see that lip quivering for me, but when I get to talk to you, it's always our conversations. We may joke like we're doing here between us three, but like it's a brotherhood, and like our conversations always steers back to God, and we have discussions like, we were talking about Elisha when they got called bald, and so we both went back and started reading the context of it, and then you came back with some information that I didn't know about, and it's just you can't experience that in a lot of jobs in the world, and I'm just so honored for that. And talking to you is just a breath of fresh air every day.
As a disclaimer and full disclosure, what you said led me to seek a little bit more around that. And if you're being kind, you would say that I came back maybe the next day or 2 days later with that little extra input with you and understanding with you. And those are the things that he does with us here in these relationships. And that like I say, that's just here at the hangar. And what happens outside of here, and as Bruce said, all the way down to the the most difficult area that Agape reaches, just he multiplies.
Yeah, I'm just always looking at this situation coming from the background I have is, it was very, very guarded on how like the workplace was. Like, you weren't supposed to bring any religion. You weren't supposed to bring, building relationships with each other. And then I come here where it's like, I'm immediately being poured into by you guys as the volunteers. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. But then it's like, you start to feel it and you're like, this is refreshing. This is what God's called us to as a brotherhood in Christ, is this. You're supposed to build each other up. You're supposed to encourage each other. Like, it was an aspect of my life I didn't realize I was missing until I came here.
It's funny you used the word brotherhood twice, and I love that because a couple of our volunteers that didn't know each other, they work on different days. They ran into each other last week, and they got talking about Agape, and that's the word they circled back to, was they felt like it's a brotherhood, and that's true. And, Larry will tell you, I mentor Larry every day. I mean, he's definitely, look at these hands, man. Look at this guy's hands. I only push him so far, and then I back off the edge because he could kill me.
Yeah.
So
those are like bare hands, man.
They're like bear claws.
Yeah.
So, I always keep something in the office in case things get out of hand. But, brotherhood is a great descriptor, because as much as we goof around, and we really do, there's not a lot of boundaries that, well, people like Larry don't really follow the boundaries down there. But, the fun that we have is a lot of the bonding. And, there was an article I read this morning about the ways that people bond. And one of them is that they work together on task. And that's the thing, we work together. The guys are seamless with like helping one another and just doing things. And I know it's small time from the outside, but what it does to us as we do it is a big deal, So
a notable fact of the brotherhood. I was, you would say, unfortunate to have a heart issue 2.5 years ago, but blessed to come through it, and all is good. But I just want to go back to that time when I just started coming back to serve again after that, about 12, 13 weeks out. And you don't know what it's like to learn about reaching for, say, a 40-pound box, which was within the range that I was given to do, and have an 84-year-old guy say, "I got that. I got that," and protect you, and that's the depth of the group here. I mean, there's such a range of retired guys here. Most of them are retired, not all of them. Some have schedules that allow them to be here to serve during the week. But that's just one little nugget of how incredible it is, whether they're veterans of military or just veterans of life. They are just incredibly great to be with.
Yeah. And I think, you look back at it, I mean, volunteering here is a sacrifice. Like, yes, most of you guys are retired, but I mean, it's still a lot of time, effort, and exertion each and every day. So what drives you to come back?
I enjoy it. I enjoyed my work when I was before I retired, and it was physical work. And I think I have a need for that to keep on using the good heartbeat that I've got now to accomplish something. And like I say, coming here is easy. I know where it is. I like airports. I like being around planes. Always did. Never will be a pilot, whatever. But in my previous work, I also enjoyed working around the airports as well.
You are a pilot. You pilot here. You pilot there.
I do.
That's our joke.
I do. Absolutely. And I just enjoy coming here because there is something physical to do, and there's a little bit of an order to it, and Bruce guides us through that. I'll give him great credit.
Finally, he mentions
great credit.
Bruce.
Yeah,
for putting up with us who are at times like herding cats, for sure.
I'm not hurt, but I just want to say I was waiting for you to talk about the impact that I've had on your life and how you come back because you miss me when you're not here.
There's only 3 minutes left in this, right?
I don't even understand. I'm not bitter about it. I'm just thinking that I thought that was what we were here for today, was just to kind of mention.
I think the question down here is about Bruce. So.
Yeah. What's the impact that Bruce has had on your life?
Well, we're going to move along because this is making me feel a little bit
This
awkward.
is very awkward. It's just silence there.
It's very awkward.
We'll talk about this later.
Oh, my God.
You jerk.
So you've been here for 4 years now, correct?
About 4 years.
4 years.
I didn't write the date down, but time flies.
You've seen a lot of changes here. What's one way Agape Flights has grown or evolved that really stands out to you?
I have seen some changes in personnel. Bruce, steady, right?
Steady.
To the task. So I'll
That's
throw,
what I get,
I'll throw
steady.
that out. There's a bone for you, okay?
I'm going to knock him out, I swear.
But
It's that brotherhood. I'm telling you guys.
I will knock you out.
I think what I appreciate most is that this is ongoing every day. And I just read Alan's little remark in this the flight line that every day or each week in particular, they reassess. You reassess where you're at as staff and your purpose. And I think that each week, how you adapt to the change of demand, whether it's the aircraft or the weather or the locations that you have to get to at a good timing.
Yeah.
There's not always the best timing. You have to get what is given you, and you keep adapting, and God just keeps giving you the ability to adapt. And you may be disappointed, but I see refreshing. It comes here in timely ways, and maybe by serving a couple of days a week versus one, I get to see that a little bit more. But it's God at work each week.
Is there time for a compliment? Can I compliment?
Of course.
Barry. Larry, excuse me. Yeah. He's definitely one of those guys that's like the ant. He works when no one's looking. I don't. I make sure people see what I do, because how are you ever going to be appreciated? But Larry will work I mean, he'll do anything and do it with nobody in the hangar. He'll just find stuff to do. He initiates. So he's a great example to the rest of the team because, we're all grown men here chronologically. And so I appreciate the fact that he's, somebody that's very self-directed, independent, does a lot of things I don't want him to do, and he does them incorrectly, but it's a small price to
You can
pay.
say it. I'm needy.
It's a small price to pay for all the things he does well. And going back to when he had his heart issue and everything, you could tell in the team people really cared, and really prayed for Larry and was glad when he came back. And it's been great. But to be honest, I'm just going to be honest. You really don't have any limitations anymore. It's time to, you've been milking it. How long ago was that?
It's true.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So, the 84-year-old guy could use a break at this point. Okay. So,
yeah.
But I'm sorry, I'm rambling a little bit.
If
But
he hadn't brought it up, I wouldn't even have seen it. So thank you again.
He really is back to full strength. He has been.
Oh, that's what we're gonna go with?
Yeah, it was a compliment I started with.
It sounded good. Well, then I'm gonna give you a compliment because one thing that you've taught me for my family is, you taught me the art of don't say no, say we'll figure it out. I went home to tell my wife about you one day because I was just like, I respect this guy that I'm working with, and I didn't know your name even at this point, but you were always giving me, let me see if I can figure that out. Let me see if I figure. It was never a no. And I was like, that is the heart of Christ.
Oh, thank you, Jack. I appreciate that.
I'm talking about Larry, by the way.
I keep forgetting your name's Larry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But
this is serious.
I don't know where he gets it.
He's being serious.
But that is truly the heart of Christ is like, instead of finding a way to say no, you find a way to say yes.
He does.
And that's such a unique heart that, listen, maybe it's the new heart, all the new stuff you got going with your heart that's changed it, but whatever it is, I want it.
My heart changed. We've all had heart surgery, okay?
Amen, brother.
That's a fact, okay? We know that.
That's heavy.
Yeah, it's true. But again, to be in a situation where there really is only a solution to each thing, and knowing that God's solution is his solution, not ours. To be supportive of you in your application here that the Lord has for you. Why would I say anything else besides, this is going to work out? And it does, because regardless of what our thoughts or your thoughts are for what it's going to be, it's going to come out as moving forward and getting the task done. Just doesn't always look the way that we thought it would, but it comes. Maybe that's just as I'm a little older than you and a lot older than you, but
you're a lot older than me. But you know what? I mean, it's a good point about him saying yes, because I could tell you, Larry, I mean, it's a cool thing, but he's one of those guys, and I used to describe a friend of mine years ago this way. When Larry comes around, you get a little bit of a vibe inside you that everything's going to be okay.
Yes.
Because he's pitching in, and he's a difference maker. He is. And so that's a cool thing.
It's not the cookies. You're getting there.
Oh, we haven't even talked about his every day this man delivers. It's got to be a couple dozen cookies that I don't feel guilty about eating.
Yeah, I am actually normally a very fit, built man. He has destroyed me, and I am never coming back again. His cookies are awesome.
I'm okay with that.
I don't know what he puts in them. Sometimes he insinuates. You want to tell him what you put in it?
No, they're 5 basic ingredients. They're all things my grandmother cooked with. It's okay.
Tell him what you put in
molasses. It's okay.
Ooh, molasses.
Yeah.
No. There's another item. We won't. This is a family podcast.
It's love.
You can thank me later. I pulled him from where he was going. So
thank you. I appreciate that. Well, let's try to wrap this up a little bit. My last big question would be, like, if someone wants to volunteer their time, money, effort here, how would you steer them to that?
I'll go back to what I said earlier. The mission here is so much greater than the hangar or the people. I've seen nothing but focus on getting things to people in difficult places, but not because it's the things, The focus here is that it's the mission, it's the purpose, it's the reason you put up with us who bring our bad habits to try to get things done in a decent way for you, in a logical way for you.
He just doesn't want to do it. That's what it comes to.
Well, yes.
No, he's a good leader. He really is a good leader, and he takes a lot of ribbing. Yeah. He is from New Jersey, and he can give it back.
Yeah. Pretty sure he's part of the mob, so that's why I have a line still, because I'm just in case there's still a connection there.
Yeah, you can go there. But the things that get done here, it's God's hand. And while we're, many people will focus on just things and people will ask, well, what do you guys ship? Or what does Agape ship out? And they're kind of stunned when they hear more than food and clothing, because that's like the go-to common. But it's everything. It's anything that could support the mission, the missionary, ultimately to defeat the enemy in the mind of those who are resisting it at the other end. And that's, I'd have to revisit the question, I guess, to focus on the answer better. But that at work is it's just a pleasure and a privilege to be a part of, part of God's hand in doing that. And again, I'm one guy. There's 100 plus other guys that come in here and serve, and women serving in the various volunteer positions as well. And all that gets done here is it's his work, not mine.
In one word, and I think our development director, she recommended me ask you this question. In one word or one sentence, whatever's easier, what would you describe the Agape purpose?
Changing lives, but changing lives from death to life. There's no question that just I didn't get to meet those who started or who were called to start this mission. But their whole intent, I believe, was to reach the unreached, to reach the lost. All of the business part of this and the obvious material part of this is the world sees that as business and just making something happen. But this is not a business. This is something that God called someone to begin, and we're just a part of a great beginning.
And we're just part of the plane that's flying in the sky, right?
Yeah, and he's who knows what limit he's going to take to how the application of this mission. Yeah.
I'll end on an edifying note, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
For Agape Nation. Okay. First of all, Larry, I love you, man. I'll tell you right in front of you. I can say it.
I can take it.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to say it back. That's another thing.
I hope you do understand that I love you as a brother as well.
Okay,
so,
all right, whatever.
Blah, blah, blah.
I don't need to hear it.
Listen, I'm feeling left out. I love you guys both too.
Here's my edifying thing here. So, sometimes it looks like the kingdom, we're not winning. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't sound like it. But, I'm a big fan of American football, and sometimes I watch my favorite team, the reruns of the games that I know they won. And when I watch the reruns, it doesn't bother me when we get a penalty. It doesn't bother me when we drop the ball or when they score, because I know how the game ends, and I can just relax and just appreciate that all the ups and downs, we win in the end, and I don't worry about it. And obviously the correlation is with the kingdom, man. It's like it's already happened. The Word of God says this is how it ends. So Agape Nation, man, keep your chin up, stay fired up, stay on point, trust the Lord and just empowering everything that you do, because nothing's going to stop the Lord. He's going to do his thing, and all we got to do is obey him. So speaking to myself as well, let's just stay on point, because we already know how it ends.
That was really beautiful, Bruce.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was a little shocked by how beautiful that was.
Yeah, I stole it off some guy on the radio.
Oh, there it is.
No, I'm only kidding.
That makes more sense.
I'm only
now.
kidding.
Well, Larry, thank you so much for taking the time to tell our volunteer
Love this guy,
stories.
man.
And Bruce, thank you again for joining us. You know, you guys both work hand in hand, so I figured
do.
it'd be great to see everyone gets to see how you guys interact with each other. Bruce just threatened to knock you out in the middle of it. Now he says that he loves you, so that's about fitting, right?
And I
Day's not
love you,
over yet.
Jack. I love
A
you,
line
Jack.
from a movie. The day's not done yet, Bruce.
He's not done yet.
By the way,
So-
both these guys are like triple my size. They're huge human beings. So it's all in fun. Trust me.
Well, again, thank everyone for listening. It's always a pleasure to do this every week. Bruce, you have something else to say, it feels like?
No, I don't have anything else witty or interesting. So, no.
Okay, so we'll end on that. Thank you guys again. God bless.
God bless.